here's the thing. Most of us undercharge because we're scared. We're scared that we're not good enough, that we don't know enough. We begin to compare ourselves. We're like so thirsty, so desperate that we're willing to take any little thing that comes our way, even if it's way below what we are valued or what our experience is valued as. And one of the biggest things that can really get us into this state of undercharging is we decide for ourselves that we're not there yet, that we don't have enough yet. So it's okay to have this little bit right now. However, when you underprice yourself, you are teaching others to undervalue what you bring to the table as well. This will keep you in the vicious cycle of being underpaid, feeling stuck, and not truly experiencing the joy and the expansion that you know, your spirit knows deep down inside that you are worth. How can you actually calculate what your worth is, what that looks like when it comes to charging for your artistry? The first thing is your time. How long did it take you in preparing? How long is your time in terms of rehearsals, in terms of traveling, going here and there, meeting up for additional workshops, meeting different parts and people of the group? How long does that take? Your time is precious. That's one resource that we will not get back. The next thing that you can consider is your skill. How many years did it take for you to get to where you are right now? Think of it as like when you're cooking a meal. Think of a big holiday, let's say Thanksgiving or Christmas or some other big holiday where it is surrounded by food, a feast, right? Depending on how long a specific dish has been marinating in all of the juices and the vegetables and the broth and the meat and whatever you would put into that dish, if you just put it in for 5 minutes and then try to serve it to people, first of all, one, is it done? I don't know, depends on what it is. But two, have all of the seasonings had a time to marinate and to really create a flavorful dish that people will be raving about until the next year when that holiday or that event comes up again. So when we consider skill is the number of years that it took. And over those years, the refinement that has happened as you did and you learned to even do better and you did even better the next time and then you learned something else, or the time and the effort that it went into learning and to growing and to trying and to stretching. Your skill is this beautiful merging of all the time that it has taken you, and that in itself is valuable as well. Now let's consider expenses. When you are doing a certain project, a certain gig, there is some training that needs to go into it. Let's say you are doing, you have a gig, you have a role, and you have a certain dialect that you need to learn. Well, some training went into that. Perhaps you hired someone outside. It wasn't just something you found on your own to go a private tutor or master to learn that skill. That's training. That's expenses. You think of costumes. You think of different gear to help you to get into shape. You think of all of these things that you have needed, that you've had to pay for in advance, most often, before you get the role, to prepare you for the role. That goes into the calculation of payment. And now let's talk about the value of the experience you bring. Because what you are bringing to the stage, to the floor, to the mic is something that only you can bring. Yes, there are numerous creatives out there. Yes, there are numerous dancers, actors, singers, writers, blah, 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 blah. There's plenty. But no one else can bring the energy, the expertise, and the experience that you specifically can. No one can bring the flavor that only you can. And when you lean into that and when you really accept that, that can bring up your value. That can allow you to see yourself in a brand new way. That energy and that transformation comes only from you. Now let's talk negotiation, because this is one area that us artists can feel a little uncomfortable about. Now it may seem a little weird when I say negotiations, because there are some gigs where it's like, this is the pay and that's that. However, you can always ask, right? If there's something more that you need. And then there are some opportunities that have wiggle room, that have like, what is your price? They're not just bringing to you, this is what I can do, because you can make that decision. Is this what I want to do? Because this is what you can do. But then there are those instances where they're asking you, what is your price for this? This is especially when you will use these negotiation techniques. The first thing is, don't say yes right away. When they offer you a price, say thank you. Give me like a day or two, or give me the weekend and let me get back to you. This allows you to take time to not lean into that, oh my gosh, I have something right now, let me say it because it's gonna go. That scarcity can flare up, but it gives you time to really allow for that amount to settle within you and to see, is this what I wanna do? Now, it could be 15 minutes later and you're like, heck yes, this is what I wanna do. But even taking that 15 minutes gives you the opportunity to go inward and to say, does this feel good? Is this honoring me? Because when it honors you, you can show up to your fullest, best capacity. When it doesn't feel like it's honoring you, you're kind of like, all right, I'm here, whatever. It's completely different. The next one, and this was something that I didn't learn at the very beginning, but I've learned over time, and I'm tweaking it even more for myself, and that is to anchor higher. Meaning, if the service you provide is around $300, say $400, because what that does, it gives them, the other party, space to negotiate without hitting your bottom. If you know, man, I really need to do 300, like this is it. But then you go into a situation where they're asking you, a negotiation begins to happen, and this is something that you actually are interested in doing, quite often it can push back that 300 or push back your floor and put you in a state of not feeling comfortable, it being out of alignment. And then you're not able to do what you desire to do, unless you're like, okay, I'll do it, but I'm gonna take less. And so just putting it a little bit higher allows for the negotiation to happen where both parties can walk away feeling met and feeling excited about the upcoming project and collaboration. And then the third thing in terms of negotiation is, whatever you decide, and you have to go inward, but whatever you decide, stand on it. Stick it, hold the pose, right? Stick to it. And when you say it conversationally. Just like the sky is blue, the sun is out. Oh, for this particular service, it's $400. Do you see? Keeping it, making it conversational, and sometimes that takes practice, especially when you're like anchoring up a little bit. You want to get familiar with it in your body, within your core, within your voice, so that when you present it, then it feels confident, it feels familiar, and it can just roll off of your tongue. Believe me, the energy in that is picked up real quick. You start looking down, you start looking this way, it makes a big difference. A very exciting and sometimes tender part to this whole thing is standing firm. Standing firm in what you have decided for yourself, what that best is for yourself. And most artists can start to flake a little bit or get a little wobbly because we desire something so much and it hasn't landed and solidified that price, that amount, that value within ourselves. It hasn't solidified as much. So do the work for that solidification, but then stand firm on what you say. Recently I had someone just chance meeting. They met me, we started talking briefly. They're like, oh my gosh, what do? You have just such this energy or around you. I want to be in your world. Give me your email address so I can send you blah, blah, blah. I would like to connect. So we did like a brief session. I worked with him and it was 20 minutes and like life-changing, right? Because the tools that I use. After that, we started talking and I'm like, yeah, so this is my price. And this is what it includes, and it will be great. I mean, we've done this in 20 minutes. Can you imagine when we are meeting together multiple weeks at a time? He was very, very excited about it. And then less than an hour later, he sends me an email saying, yes, this is all the things I have going on in my life. And I've actually worked with other people and they charge less than this. So I'm wondering if you will be willing to work with me and it's going to be this price. I can do this. I can't do what you said, but I can do this. Do you know that the price he was offering was $50 less? Each payment, $50 less. And so there was a part of me that was like, okay, well, it's $50 less, but I'm not budging. Why? Because I said this. Now the old Giselle would be like, oh, well, it's $50 less. Each payment is $50 less. And it will be, this kind of happened. what a great story this would be, and maybe it'll work out. And you see all of the like wobbliness in that, even in my body. But I said, no, for everything that I am offering, this is my price. And I didn't even have to say for everything that I'm offering. I could have just said, this is my price. And I completely understand that life is busy right now. And I completely understand that you were expecting something different. I wish you the very best. And I leave that open, that if it comes back around, then hey, we can do it. But it comes with standing firm. So when you have made the decision, when you've done the work, when you've gone through all of the inner closets, and when you've made the decision, this is my value, my time, my skill, my experience, what I've paid for this already, my own training that I've paid for, come on. Plus the brilliance that you can't even put a price on, the life experiences that you can't even put a price on, come on. This is my value. This is what I am standing in right now. And it may go up as years go on and more experiences come, but this is where I am right now. And I'm standing on it, I'm standing firm. When we price ourselves too low, or when we are showing that we can be moved, and it's not even negotiation at that point, like you've seen my work, right? So when we're showing that, okay, I can be moved from the place that I have stood, then what you'll do is you'll allow that undervaluing, that underpricing to start coming again, where it doesn't even make sense, but people just want to do it. And that will open the door for more clients that are not right fit for you. But when you stand firm and you say, this is my value, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm saying, then you open the door and you open the pathway for those people, those projects, those clients, those collaborations that are in alignment with who you are to come your way. So stand firm. Is it easy all the time? No. Sometimes it feels very wobbly. But when you become more familiar with who you are and what you bring to the table, you can tighten up a lot and stand firm on it, because it's honoring you. It's not betraying you. It is honoring you. If you're tired of being underpaid, I want to remind you that you are worth it. Your art is worth it. What you bring to the table is worth it. So stop playing small. Stop giving other people permission slips to undervalue you, because you are undervaluing yourself at the very start. Stop that mess. I say it to you, I say it to me. We go level, 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 baby, because we're going from broke artists to rich artists without sacrificing our art, our wealth, or our family. And that starts with how we see ourselves. Okay? Okay. Now, if you've forgotten, be sure to stop and grab that artist starter kit. Look below if you want to join this community of creative artists and get some insider tips of my life and what's happening with me. Then grab your free Dream Launcher guide, and that's going to put you on our mailing list and into our community. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, share it with somebody else, and be on the lookout for the next one. Sending you so much love. If it has come to you, it is meant to come through you, so don't shut that flood door. Live fully.